I finally got back to my ceiling train build because I had some track come in, and I installed a diagonal bridge because I always wanted one.
Lego my Jameso.
I did decide to change up my original design, and I put this diagonal bridge in because I think it looks cool and I have the track for it. I used a string to lay this out and give me a straight line. I marked where this needed to end up on this other bridge here, and then I'm using my 2x4 that I split in the first video. I'm using both these pieces for my thin bridge. The mechanism to anchor this into the ceiling is the same. It is drywall anchors with screw eyes with metal wire. This metal wire, I just wind it together. I make sure it's the length I need. And right here, I'm just simply kind of tying it together to make sure it can hold just for the moment. I then set a board on it to make sure everything lines up. I put track on that board to make sure that it will all fit together. And now it is time for me to put additional anchors into the ceiling. I'm going to do this into my actual ceiling joists. As you can see here, the bridge will line up, and I'm actually going to run it onto a second set of track at the end, and then it will tie in. This anchor here I'm putting in the ceiling joist. That is why it is not actually perpendicular with the board. So here you can see it as a weird angle, but it is more secure because I'm not using drywall anchors. And then the other one you can see here, the wire is perpendicular because I made it perpendicular with the bridge and used drywall anchors. To make this cut, I simply took my board, set it on top of my bridge, brought it over to that line, and marked where I wanted to cut. I figured this angle should be very close to 45 degrees, and what do you know, I brought up my square, and it was perfect. So that means I'm doing things right, I guess. The length of the bridge ended up being closer to 10 feet, so I could not use one 8-foot run. I had to use two pieces, and I did not want to have one long piece and one short piece, so I decided to have this cut relatively in the middle. That way I could have two even pieces that are both tied into each end that each have two wires supporting them. Lastly, when the bridge is in place, I come back to these wires and I recoil them. That way everything is level and make sure everything looks real nice. Overall, I'm very pleased with this bridge. It came out really well. I had a lot of worries when I was laying this out if it was going to work, and I was happy to see when it did. This project, for those of you who are curious, it took me around 4 hours. The time will vary for you depending on if you've done this before. The biggest parts are really making your layout, ensuring track will tie in like this correctly, and then just, setting it up and making accurate cuts. If you can do all that, then maybe you can do it faster than me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to see more. I'll be posting train content on Tuesdays. More parts of this build coming real soon, hopefully. I need track.